out. All that issue can't talk at work. We can talk about labor lounge. I ain't gonna argue with you. I'ma hit you with these facts so that you can get the picture. Hey.
I'm not even gonna lie. Did the intro be hard?
It is.
I think the professor did his thing, man. Hey, let's just take a minute to give a shout out to the professor for the lyrics on the intro to the track, man. Shout out to you.
Appreciate.
Even though the people not gonna be able to hear it, you know what I mean?
They gotta go watch from the other videos.
You gotta go watch from the other videos right now.
Actually, big shout out to Soul Connect, because my man is the man who went ahead and laid down the foundation for that track. Once again, shout out to my man Soul Connect, www.soulconnect, Soul Connect.
There it is, man. Listen, Big Red, welcome back.
Hey.
Oh, thanks for having me back.
Big Red in the building.
You know we had to bring you back, young man. We had to bring you back because the last time the people said that you did all right. So I was like, you know what? Don't change your formula that's working. Get them back.
Pressure.
That's what they say. That's what they say. So I just follow the blueprint that I know that works. You understand?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Sounds like a plan. That's called the slap. So, yeah. Professor, you feeling good tonight?
Man, I'm feeling good every night, man.
My man. So we just recently came off a recording from last night where we talked about some of the current events that's going on right now. We won't get too deep into that, but that's going to be coming out here real soon. But just to kind of touch on it just a little bit, just because I got Red here, right?
Oh yeah.
So Red, have you heard about the Brittany Griner situation?
Well, of course, Monique being a ex-basketball player, and you got the other two over in the house. Yeah. I've kind of on and off have been in the loop about it. Like they'll talk about it, and then I see it sometimes on my Google News. Mm-hmm. My opinion on it, I mean, I kind of agree with what Monique said. Like you really need to, especially as a traveling basketball player, know where you're going and the rules and guidelines. Because when you go to another country, it's not like going to another state. They do whatever they want, and if they don't like us, oh well. And that's exactly I feel like what happened. They don't really like us. She had a little bit of something. Listen, we're gonna not even take you to jail. You're going to prison, and like a max prison that's dirty, like because they just can't. I mean, that's the thing. So I am glad that she is coming back. I think the switch that they did with what was he, an arms dealer here, right?
Oh yeah, that was the
arms dealer.
We're gonna call him the MOD.
Yeah, so I am glad they did the switch. I kind of think it took a little long, but I don't know if that's them being like, we are in charge kind of thing, like let's assert dominance. But I am glad, and so is everybody here, that she's back home and, hopefully better for the experience. Maybe, you never know.
Yeah. So can we dissect this a little bit? Because I think everybody is glad. Well, I don't want to use the word glad. I think everybody has a piece where they say, okay, well, yeah, we got her home. And I think there is a sense of relief there, right?
Right.
But let's talk about what we gave up to get that. What are your thoughts on that? Like, I'm going to assume, and you know what happens when you do that you really don't know who the Merchant of Death is.
It's true. And yeah. I think that now, I will say I did not read articles. I did not really fully watch the news. So don't put me on a pedestal like I know everything. But
I got you.
I think they didn't really go into as much detail as I should have about this guy. They were kind of brushing. It was like a broad brush, like, oh, Merchant of Death, like sold arms everywhere, blah, blah, blah. But how important is it for them to have him back in comparison to us to get her back? I am glad she is back. But what did we, like you said, what did we give up to get our basketball player back?
And that's what I would say. Just go back and do the research on that, right? I think his name is Victor. What is it?
Bout.
Victor Bout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could just go ahead and Google that, right? And you can kind of get a synopsis of who he is. It is that's why a lot of people call this a controversial situation. Is because once you understand who he is, it's like, okay, well, we got a basketball player versus somebody who has single-handedly caused a lot of death all over the world. So it's like you have to really understand the context behind it to understand where the controversy comes in at. And we don't have to go too much into it because I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm not going to dig into you because it's obvious that you just don't have the history behind it. But I would urge you to go find out, and then you can kind of see where we're coming from, because there's a lot of pieces involved in it that can make great conversation. So let's move on. Did you hear about Deion Sanders? Do you watch sports? You watch football?
Can I say yes?
You can say yes, but just understand that there's going to be follow-up questions. Hey, how the professor like to do it?
So I'll see.
Back him up into a corner, man.
As far as sports, of course, I got Greg here, and he'll talk about sports all day if he really wants to, but not really. Sundays, well, I work all the time, so when sports are usually going on, I'm at work or I'm coming home and I'm exhausted. And the days I do have off, I'm just trying to spend time with the family.
Let's throw you a bone. Are you familiar with the situation with Coach Prime leaving Jackson State University to go to Colorado?
No.
Okay.
Well, that's what we were talking about last night.
So basically, are you familiar that Coach Prime was actually at Jackson State and what he has done over there at that university, that HBCU?
No. I mean, I would like to know, but no, I don't personally know. Brief
synopsis. The guy went there and basically completely turned around the whole program. He contributed his assets to go ahead and get the facilities up to snuff. He used his connections to go ahead and get them flights on American Airlines. He's got them a lot of winning games. He's gotten them a lot of attention, and he just decided to go to Colorado State University. So the field is mixed, half and half. Some people are mad that he's about to leave this place because of the attention that he garnered. And other people are like, well, let him go ahead and move on to the next best thing, wherever the money is at. So it's a 50-50 kind of thing right now. So you're pretty much up to snuff right now, right? Okay. So in a situation now with the brief knowledge that you have, what do you think about that situation, Big Red?
So, I mean, I guess, like you said, it's kind of a 50-50 thing, and I think I could see both sides of the field on that. What kind of money is he getting to go to the new school or the new team? That's obvious. I mean, money is a benefactor in everything, right? Like, I hate to say it, but money talks.
Right.
I mean, that's just the truth. You don't go from one job to another for less money. You go for more money. So that is, I'm sure, probably a benefactor. And, maybe he feels like he's gotten the team turned around in a positive way. He's gotten, like you said, he's gotten that publicity. He's gotten that team moving. People are coming. Like, they're excited to see it. Maybe he's like, you know what? I've done what I got to do. I got this great opportunity here. They might need my set of skills now, just like I did with this team, to help that team. I'm going to move. And that's a positive thing. I think that would be a selfless, if you could say a selfless thing, minus the money, if that was it. Now, was there any other kind of, stuff in the background?
Yes. I'll give you a caveat, right? So the caveats to this situation is that there are rumors surfacing that even though he was taking half of his salary to go ahead and reinvest into the team, the school wasn't going ahead and reciprocating and matching him on that in that capacity. So that also made a thing. Also, Colorado State University, their caveat on that part is they're offering him projected money. This is money they don't even have. But they know that they can secure and garner through the connections and what we assumed are the backroom conversations that were happening in the back. Like, hey, if you get that guy who turned around that university here, shoot, I'll go ahead and throw you double digits.
Yeah, there's somebody with some deep pockets.
So we assume that there's that caveat on that place, and now there's there is also the rumored caveat that Jackson State wasn't matching his contributions. So with you knowing those caveats now, how does that go ahead and impact your opinion?
Man, yeah, I mean that's hard. I feel like if I were to be giving a lot of money to try to better a school, give and
half his salary.
Right,
so
half his salary.
Half of his salary.
Come on, man. And I'm sure that, he makes good money, but I'm sure that he's not, rolling in it enough to kill half a salary and be living lusciously. Like, I don't.
He got old money. He got old money. So this probably affords him the ability to do that. But I'm not going to say that it wouldn't have made an impact for him to keep that money.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, it won't make life easier. Yeah. But then at the same time, they don't reciprocate.
Right.
Like, I'm going to do this for you, but you can't meet me halfway or do what maybe they told him at first, listen, you put half your salary, we're going to give you some money back. Maybe he's just waited long enough and finally said, screw it. This other team, they're promising money and money they don't even have yet just to get me over there. And you guys won't even give me the money that you said you were going to give. That would be an easy deal breaker.
Yeah. And I think, what it really boils down to is just the fact that he was doing so much. And I personally think he just didn't feel like it was coming back. And then there are rumors saying that he said that he was going to do this if he had the opportunity to do it in the first place. So that's just a quick catch up on what we were talking about last night. That's not really the topic of conversation tonight. Me and the professor last night was kind of just having that conversation. Tonight, we're going to be looking at some different topics because you know what? That's what we do here at the Labor Lounge. This isn't the overnight show. This is just us kicking it in the break room. How about that? That's what we're going to do.
Reactions from reactionaries.
Yeah,
there you go.
we go call it an hour and 15 minutes in the break room. So we go look at a bunch of different clips. We're gonna dissect and break it down, give some opinions, and then we go from there, man. Everybody feeling good tonight? Let's go. First clip.
You name one thing that you like about women that doesn't have to do with sex.
How is it that you refuse to understand or take any accountability for your behavior when it comes to how we relate to y'all? No, we don't understand y'all. No, we don't like y'all. Yes, y'all are very irritating.
And what the fuck are y'all?
No, this is about men. Don't conflate. I'm sexually attracted to women.
And that's the only thing that there is. So you don't love us. You don't want to be with us. You don't even like us. You just want to us, and then you deal with the rest of it. I'm talking about there are men in the world that literally they don't like women, and you
like
can tell.
Women as far as what?
You don't like certain things about women.
That's okay. And I don't like certain things about my other male friends. I don't like certain things about everybody. There are things that we love about women. Things that we love
haven't
about
named
men.
any. What do men love about women that is not that has nothing to do with their?
Damn.
He got stuck.
Stop playing. Yeah, you want to talk about putting him in a fucking corner? Yeah, that man said,
Bruh,
Bro.
not the crickets.
Dude. Now, I will say, there's like multiple layers into that.
Yes.
There is multiple layers in that
There's a
whole
lot.
clip. You could have played the first 20 seconds and we could have talked about that for at least 30 minutes.
There's a lot. Bro.
That was a lot. That was good.
All right, so let's start with Big Red, you here. So let's talk about the first 10 seconds. Go ahead.
Red, hit it.
So I kind of agree with the question, like, as far as females to males. And I kind of agree with what she said. A lot of guys just see them as a sexual figure, right? It's Rosalind. I have met and I have a couple friends that is how they are. They do not like women, but they don't want to be with a man and they need their needs met, so they will mess with a woman, but they will never truly be with a woman. You know what I mean? Like, and that was kind of like I resonated that just from those friends that I've had in that circumstance. Personally, no, I don't really see that as the case. I'm kind of the other direction. I feel like I overly obsessed with everything else except the sexual. Like when I first meet a woman, or you know, like when I'm with a woman, like Monique, just say for instance, we were long distance for 4 years, and our first 8 months together was we did not have any physical stuff, anything except for like kissing. That was it. 8 months. So you literally can only be emotionally attached to somebody at that point. And I think that's what got us through the 4 years of long distance. But I think that there's a lot more. If you can be with somebody or truly connect with a male to a woman, in this case, this is what we're talking about. No LBGTQ, whatever. This is just straight up male to woman. I feel like if you can connect on such a deep level, there is layers of a woman that you will find to be attractive, not sexually, but just an emotional, attraction, which I found in my wife. But like I said, I've met people that were just like, she's a great girl, but she's great in bed. I want to go play games, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. And I don't feel like that's right. I feel like maybe, and a lot of guys nowadays, like generation after mine, they're missing what I found, or maybe you guys have found, because things are so quick now.
I got you. I think well, before I dissect this thing, I just want to kind of throw this in there, where she asked him, "What is it that we like about you besides their hoo-hoo?" Right? Man, I really think it's just it speaks volumes to that. It feels like there's a great divide, and I'm taking my information off of YouTube, right? So,
yeah, I agree.
I'm looking at social media today, and I'm looking at some of the thought processes of the young men. I'm looking at some of the thought processes of these young women, and there is this great divide, right? And to hear her say, "Well, what do you like about us besides our hoo-hoo?" And he kind of got stuck at the end. Now, granted, that could be an editing, right? That could be an edit, but I think it's people out there that feel like that, right? So, do you think that do you think the issue could be that there's just this divide being created between men and women?
I think that I definitely think there is a divide, and I do think that there is not enough communication. That it's more, how do I say it? Now women are using it more as a weapon, if you know what I mean. Like that right there specifically. Like, what do you find? It's not like, well, I feel like you guys should see this in a woman. It's, no, we're going to come at you and we're going to direct this at you, put you on the spot, back you into a corner. And when you don't have nothing, before we can even really come up with something, you're going to cut us off and you're going to just drill us and make us look like we're pieces of shit. What she said, like I said, I agree with what she said, but I do think that there is definitely, and as generations have gone on, it's kind of gotten worse. Definitely a split, and it's only getting worse. It's not getting better, I feel like.
Yeah. I'm going to just put this here before I pass it off to the professor. I don't think it's that men don't. I don't think it's that we don't. There's things that we do like, right? I think we're just having a hard time finding it. I really.
But how often have you had that question? Like, when's the last time somebody really came up to you and was like, "What do you find attractive about women that isn't sexual?"
Well, I would be out of place to answer that question because I'm not in that position.
It's true.
Like I am a married man, right? I was fortunate enough to find my wife early. So I didn't go through these phases of actually dating in this new world. Like I came up with mine. So I can't even talk to what's happening today. So all I could do is go off of what I'm seeing. And I can have my opinion, and that comes a dime a dozen. Everybody with an a-hole has one, right? So it just makes for great conversation. But I do say that we have things that we do love and adore about women. I want to say that this newer generations are just, they're so different that it's hard to find those things that traditional people are looking for, because traditional is not the new wave in 2022. So I'm going to leave it right there. Professor, go ahead. What's your thoughts on that?
Man, he said a lot of things, and in that clip, there was a lot to unpack, man. And one of the things where he was like, he doesn't like women. And I'm like, I always, say that there's power in words. Be careful of what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think this is what he means, but I think this is what he's just saying because he shoots at the hip type of kind of guy. Mm-hmm. You could see that on a few clips. He's just speaking from
talking out his ass, literally.
Yeah, you could say that, but I would say that he's letting it go. There's no filter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like when he says that, I don't agree with that. I do like women, right? So I right then and there immediately I kind of felt he's not the right character to go ahead and represent all of men.
Yeah,
because
you picked a real winner.
Like I don't think that he encapsulates, everything that would embody something as a whole that majority of men can go ahead and gravitate to.
Now let me ask you. Let me just stop you real quick. Let me ask you something. Do you think? And I feel like we're on the same page here. Do you think that when he said that? Do you think they edited, like he said, they could have edited it, that he might have said something after that wouldn't have made that little clip seem so bad? Maybe not so bad. I mean, he still said it, and I agree with you. You shouldn't have said that. Words are very powerful, especially in, like we were talking about nowadays, social media. That clip alone can fuck you up forever because now you're looking like, oh, well, I hate women. That's all that needed to be said, and that could be the end of the clip. But I feel like there might have been more to that might have changed the context.
I'll tell it to you like this. The potential for that, I can't speak to. The only thing that I can speak to is what was actually displayed.
True.
So when I
didn't watch the real video.
Yeah, when I respond to it, it's going to be just at the clip in hand.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether there's a potential for editing. Yes, there is a high potential for editing, but that's not going to be relevant to my response right now. Okay. Respectfully. So whatchamacallit. Now, furthermore, my man, she said, oh, well, you guys say that there are things that you don't like about women. And he said, yeah, that's true. There's things I don't like about my man's over here, and I don't like things about that person. That was a very accurate statement. Sure. That was a super accurate statement. There should be a space for you to not like things about a gender. Right? Because at the end of the day, that's a fair playing field on both sides.
Right.
You could not like things about males, and that could be respected. Right. And if somebody is worth their spit, they'll go ahead and listen to you and see how they could address that, right? But that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah,
I just wanted to address that segment there. At the end, when she said, what is it that you like about a woman that isn't sexual? The honest answer about this situation is it's not a common thing that's asked. So I don't expect anybody to go ahead and have the answers right off the fly.
That's what I was saying.
But if you think about it, you can find a plethora of things that you love about women that aren't sexual, right?
Right.
I love the presence of a woman in the home.
Yeah.
I like how it feels. I love a woman's touch, not physical like that. Of course, physical, I love that. But what I'm speaking to is when I come in and it smells a particular way, the accents over here, the comfort that we have because of the extra different towels that she puts over here. Her touch in the home of knowing, oh, this is occupied by a woman, right? I like the innocence of a woman when she doesn't know all of the tools that I have, and she's just over here playing around trying to figure things out, but she has the motivation. She doesn't know. I love things like that, right? Those are innocent things. I love having conversations and getting a woman's perspective, because women's perspectives are usually based in some of the emotions that we lack being a dude. Some of the emotions that we're not allowed to have or comfortable with, or whatever other situation that could be related to when it comes to these emotions and the lack thereof. I love all of the things that women are capable of, how they can go ahead and uplift you in a manner that men could never.
Right.
You know, I love, the list goes endlessly.
Right. When you get to think about it.
Right. So I applied some thought, and these are the things that came to me immediately beforehand.
Right.
But shoot, if you give me a day, bro, we gonna be here for at least a few shows.
Exactly.
You know,
and I agree with that. Yeah, like she just came at you. You had what, a period of, let's say, 5 minutes. You just had and in the back of your head rolling.
Yeah.
Since we saw that clip.
That's exactly.
But he had what, 5 seconds of and it was done. That was it. So
but this is why I'm a double down on he's not the best candidate to represent men and what encapsulates us. Because anybody that is going to be a real candidate is going to sit there and say, give me a second.
Yeah, pause. Just wait.
Give me a moment. Let me reflect and really think about it. Yo, I love this. I love what you do for our children. I love how you make me feel. I love how it feels when you're around. Right. I love the things that you do here. I couldn't see a moment without you.
Yeah, and right there.
I think it rolls up into a burrito. Everything you name kind of rolls up into comfort for me. Mm-hmm. Like that's really everything you just named. I could say that's comfort. The ambiance in the house and all that kind of good stuff. So I could see that. I see you, bro. My man.
I like it.
But are we 100% sure that he said he didn't like women? Did he say that? I just want to make sure.
Play it back. Can you play it back real quick?
What happened was, I'm gonna say this before you play it back. What happened was she said it and he didn't deny it.
All right, let's roll it back real quick. Let's get accurate and be
You
good.
name one thing that you like about women that doesn't have to do with sex.
How is it that you refuse to understand or take any accountability for your behavior when it comes to how we relate to y'all? No, we don't understand y'all. No, we don't like y'all. Yes, y'all are very irritating.
And what the fuck are y'all?
No. This is about men. Don't conflate. I'm sexually attracted to women.
And that's the only thing that there is. So you don't love us. You don't want to be with us. You don't even like us. You just want to fuck us, and then you deal with the rest of it. I'm talking about there are men in the world that literally they don't like women. And you can tell.
Women as far as what?
You don't like certain things about women.
That's okay. And I don't like certain things about my other male friends. I don't like certain things about everybody. Mm-hmm. There are things that we love about women.
You haven't named any. What do men love about women that is not that has nothing to do with their?
Okay. Okay. He did say in the beginning, I don't like women. And then in the end, he said there are things that they love about women. He's just back and forth.
I think he should have just kept with the... Right. And I think he should have just kept with that second part, that there is thing. I think he should have said, not that I don't like women, that there's things about women that we don't like, because that's two different statements right there, and that's a world of a difference.
That first statement is a damning one.
Yeah. That literally is just the switch of words changes the whole spectrum.
I think, and I could be wrong, I think she said there's things that you guys don't like about women.
In the beginning, he said the beginning, first.
No, he does say
5 to 6 lines. He says, "I don't like women." He literally says those words.
He does say that.
There's no denying that one. Well, you can look back if you want to confirm.
No. I'll look back later on. That we ain't got to put it back up there. But I think there's things that men that we do love about women outside of that, because I think once you get to a certain age, maturity kicks in, and there's so much else. There's so much else that you could provide to us besides that. The newer generation is gonna struggle, because there's this power pull, right? You got the independent movement, you got the hot girl summer happening, you got men confused about what they want to do as far as like career wise, what they want to do coming out of school, how they're going to make money. They're all over social media, so it's like we're just all over the place, right? Meanwhile, we're struggling finding truck drivers. We're struggling finding these people that actually keep the world moving forward. And I think this is where we're going to end up seeing the biggest struggles, right? We're competing against each other. And I hate to say that we got to get past that. We got to get back to working together, understanding that it takes a unit to push things forward. And once we can get back to that, I think people will be a lot happier. The problem is, it doesn't matter what social media platform you get on, this is the conversation. Oh, you don't like me. Oh, you don't like me. There's things I don't like about you. There's things I don't like about you. Meanwhile, we're not getting anywhere. We're just having this conversation over and over and over again. Meanwhile, you know what? We still out here doing foolishness. So yeah, that's my say so on that. But yeah, I like that. We're gonna keep it rolling. We got another one coming up, because I want to hear y'all insight. Big Red, you good?
No, I'm good, man. I do want to say one thing though before we change over to the next one is I agree with everything you're saying, and I think that in this generation, and we've had this conversation before, kids are still trying to find themselves going into life, like high school, middle school, high school. Okay, you can kind of skate by and whatever, but they're going into college. They're coming out of college and going into careers, and they still don't know, who am I? Like, what am I meant to do, or what is my career path, and maybe just in general. Like, I don't. Well, we've had this conversation about, actually, I personally know somebody who was in school, played basketball. I thought that's what we were going to do. Now they work for UPS. And I was like, where did this go?
$60,000 in debt.
Right. I'm like, what happened? She didn't know what she wanted to do. One of my best friends, he is one of the smartest kids I know. He passed flying colors. Top scores on the SATs without studying. Went to Florida State, switched careers 6 times, and ended up working at Winn-Dixie.
$60,000 in debt.
More like $160,000 in debt.
Yeah.
Magnum cum laude, everything. Worked at Winn-Dixie, and now he runs up in Jacksonville a gas distribution plant. But it's still the fact that he didn't know. 6 times he changed his career. That's the world we're living in now, and it's only getting worse. So that's just my 2 cents.
But that's super common, though. I mean, even in my career, I can name a million times where I managed somebody coming out, got a master's degree, and they sitting there trying to fight for a department manager position. It's ridiculous. But I will say, a lot of the times it's in fields where they got these master degrees in digital design or what's the other?
Super saturated market.
Yeah, just like liberal arts. Like they'll have these degrees, right? And
I have a degree.
Really
I know what dreams look like.
Substance behind them, and you'll be surprised how people will say, "Oh, well, I went to school for computer tech or something to that effect, and they say, well, there's just no market for it in South Florida. So you went to school for something, but yet you're stuck in South Florida, and you got to get over to China or you got to get to California to really take advantage of your career.
The market can be saturated in certain areas.
So it happens more often than not, and I've heard it so many times over the course of my career. So